The most significant part about a child's life is being able to just enjoy them in whatever stage that they are in.
Will was born a little over 7 years ago. He was born at 28 weeks, so he was 12 weeks premature. He seemed to be progressing pretty well initially. They got him off of a ventilator pretty quick. But at 3 weeks, he went into cardiac arrest. He got sepsis.
Will's care was complicated by having multiple organ systems involved. So, for example, he needed neurology for his seizures. He needed to go to gastroenterology for his nutrition and feeding tube. He went to orthopedics for his hips. He went to endocrinology for his hormones. His function was impaired and had, to wrap around the whole picture, cerebral palsy. And his CP was spastic. All 4 limbs left him non-ambulatory and non-verbal, although wonderfully expressive and full of smiles and sitting in his wheelchair. That's how we remember him. My background is in both pediatrics and in the care of children with disabilities, but by no means am I any expert in all of the nuances, the seizures, the surgeries, the hips, the hormones, and it takes a team to coordinate all of this.
When I met with Dr. Murphy and she told me about the program, I knew that this was exactly what we needed.
As much as we try to give you one plan of care, every doc gives you their plan of care, and sometimes they overlap beautifully and sometimes they conflict.
We had struggled to be all on one page. They were all doing their jobs and doing them wonderfully, but the orchestration was very difficult for a difficult, complex child.
I think it's a privilege to work in comprehensive care. Different than a typical multidisciplinary clinic in the sense that we don't have a workroom filled with providers sitting around waiting to take their turn to see the child. Instead, we centralize their care in our comprehensive care clinic, and then I call the endocrinologist, or if the seizures are out of control, I grab the neurologist and say, how can we fix this? So part of it is to simplify care for the family.
One of the things that I really appreciated is that they were ahead of us in terms of what needed to happen, but they were never pushing us. They were allowing us to come along.
It's the best collaborative learning environment for me because I can learn from all those specialists and use those skills in helping the next kid who might have similar problems.
You never not worry because you have to stay on your toes with these kids, but it's the ability to trust a clinic and know that you are getting the absolute best care, even if the outcome might not be perfect.
Primarily his issue was cerebral palsy. He had multiple complications, including blindness, vision impairment, eating disorders, muscular dystrophy. Those were all chronic and continued throughout his life until he passed away at about 6.5 years old.